Welcome aboard, Cosmonauts. You have found yourself in the cosmic realm where I dwell amongst my musical treasures. Thank you for stopping in, you guys. I appreciate it, man. This is Cosmic Vinyl. I am Cosmic Brian, your host. Bit out of breath from that little dance thing there. Jesus. So yeah, man, I've been in kind of a weird mood musically this week. I've listened to a lot of different music, but for some reason I was really diving into progressive rock music. And I think a lot of it had to do with, I've been reading this Doom Patrol comic collection here. I picked this up at a library sale. And the Doom Patrol are from like the 60s, 70s, and this stuff is just woo out there, man. And it's a bunch of like Outlander kind of heroes, you know, people that don't want to be heroes, but through unfortunate circumstances, they've been given these powers. So they band together as a team, and they're kind of like the X-Men a little bit, except just much weirder, man. And I've been looking for a soundtrack to go with it. So I've been listening to a lot of progressive rock. I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a progressive rock video. But not your usual progressive rock video. I'm going to, you may not see a lot of the like familiars here, like your typical progressive rock bands like Yes, ELP, Genesis, Soft Machine. You may not see a lot of that in this. You may see some. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple of familiars in there. So, but I've been looking for something weird to go with my book, though. So, but yeah, this is what we were listening to start off with, and this definitely fits the bill. This is Can monster movie with Galactus, a comic book character right there on the cover. Not sure how they got away with that. They did change the color scheme of his outfit, and they took his face out too. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I love Can. Just seeing Jack over at Vinyl Voyage show a copy of that. And maybe that's what kind of inspired me too. Who knows? You never know, these things that land in my subconscious, right? You know, you never know. But anyway, I've got a stack of 10 progressive rock albums. Like I said, not your typical 70s prog stuff. So hopefully this will be pretty entertaining. You might see something you dig, and we'll go from there, man. So let's get this thing going. You guys want to do a big chug, man? Check it out. My beer's got a caped Superman koozie. I love this thing. Here's what we're drinking. A little Golden Road. Oh, that Golden Road. We're going down that Golden Road. What the hell is that? Anyway, yeah, let's get it on, man. I think I can twist this if I do it hard enough. Oh, hell yeah, I am strong. You are girly, man. I am strong. Jesus Christ. Oh. Whoa, yes. All right, you guys, you know the drill, man. Let's hoist it up and toss it back. This is to all of us who slaved away all week, and now we're settling in to the cosmic realm for a little cosmic vinyl action. Should be fun. So you guys ready? Here we go. Let's do it.
Oh, yes, my good friend, of course.
Oh, man, that's refreshing. Let me get rid of these mind shields, get my new specs on, and we'll dive into the wax. Here we go. Bingo. It's a little warm down here tonight. Got a little heat wave going again. There you go. He likes a little kiss, or just, you know, maybe caress his lip with your forefinger. Jesus Christ. But anyway, let's get this thing going, man. Already showed you the Can album, didn't I? I think I did. This is Nektar. This is Tales in a Tale. Oh, A Tab in the Ocean. I was thinking of a different album. But yeah, man, look at that great cover. so psychedelic. And that's one thing about progressive rock, man. Their covers were always great. I love it. And then you've got this weird machine on the back there. It's got like fish and weird stuff. But yeah, this is fantastic. And the other thing about progressive rock, you know, a lot of people think it's like this pretentious, self-indulgent type of music. And, you know, there is probably that element. But, you know, rock and roll is rock and roll, man. You know, you can't really hold it against some of these guys for wanting to take, you know, the basic 3 chords of rock and roll and you know, take it somewhere else, you know, expand on it. You know, it is what it is. And man, and you cannot doubt the musicianship of these guys, man. They definitely know their craft and they do it well. All right, let's get into the meat. The meat is right here. Get away. There's a bunch of flies around it, man. They want the meat. They want to lay their eggs in the meat. Jesus Christ. Now, this is one you may not recognize, but this is one of my favorite albums in the Cosmic Collection. I play this all the time. This is Spiny Norman. This is recorded in a Texas community college I think it was Houston, Texas, in 1978 to 1979. It's 2 young guys. That's them right there on the cover there, or the back cover. This thing got shelved. It was finally issued by Riding Easy Records, and I believe it was 2018. Yes, 2018. And I just love this record, man. And they actually made an appearance on the Brown Acid series, which is curated by one of the guys in the vinyl community. His name is Lance from Permanent Records LA. He's also on Instagram. Here's the insert there with the song, the credits and stuff. Got the lyrical content there as well. I love this, man. This is like hard psych infused with prog, and this shit is like mysterious and dark and just far out, man. Songs like Arrowhead and Carry Your Water, To Meet the Mad Hatter. These guys were doing stuff well beyond their years, man. They bought their they used any instruments they could lay their hands on. They bought this Vox Jaguar organ that one time used to belong to Fever Tree, because when it came in the case, and also, you know how bands like spray paint a little block letters on their equipment, like so it doesn't get mixed up with like other bands when they're touring. And it said Fever Tree on it. I just think that is so great, man, that these guys, you know, inherited an instrument from a psych band from the 60s. But yeah, man, if you haven't checked this out, man, this is killer. You got Mellotron, you've got heavy, fuzzed out guitars, and so much more. And definitely they have a couple songs on the Brown Acid series as well. So yeah, definitely check out Spiny Norman. I'll do a needle drop too, so you'll get a chance to hear a little bit of it. I never let you down, did I? Now here's a band that is one of the familiars, and I had a hard time keeping their In the Court of the Crimson King album out of this. I wanted to kind of dive a little deeper, so I went with Larks, Tongue, and Aspic, and this is fantastic, man. Most of the band they've all gone their separate ways. Robert Fripp put the band back together with 4 new members. But yeah, this is great. There's the track list there and the players, and I love that cover with the sun with the You know, you got the moon there too, the crescent moon. God, just a beautiful cover. Released in '73 on Atlantic Records. This is kind of like prog, avant-garde, just fantastic musicianship. I'm really impressed with the bassist on here, John Wetton. I think he also played in Family. But yeah, this is great, man. Eastern European modernist classical music and free improv influences shine the brightest on here. A little jazzy at times as well. You've got woodwinds, you've got various other instruments. They use toys sounds for some of the songs, sheet metal, whatever they had laying around, man, they used, and came up with this masterpiece, man. I love it. Larks, Tongue, and Aspic by King Crimson. I'm going to make a little adjustment here. I don't want any... Oh, I see why. It's hanging off the back. There we go. A little adjustment never hurt anybody. Am I sweating like a whore in church? Jeez. And you guys are going to love this, man. This is one that I will do a needle drop on. This is fantastic, man. This is Steel Mill, Green-Eyed God. I don't think this was like the original cover, but man, I dig this cover. Totally whacked out, man. Look at that. Soak it in, vinyl community. And there's the band looking fantastic. I'd give that guy about an 8, maybe a 7.5 to an 8 on the Afrometer. Jesus. But yeah, man, this was released in '72 in Germany. I think in the UK it was released 3 years later in '75. British, heavy prog with psych elements. This early like '70s progressive rock that, you know, before it became this blown out thing, man, is the stuff that I really dig. And this is right in that wheelhouse, man. Heavy riffing. You've got, you know, riffs like that sound like a little bit like Heap, maybe a little Sabbath. You know, add some wood instruments or wind instruments like, you know, a saxophone, and man, you've got a crazy prog album. You got dark lyrical content, haunting melodic at times, the tunes. Think Atomic Rooster, maybe a little Black Widow, Skin Alley maybe comes to mind on that, but yeah, definitely check that out. That's one of the ones I like the most that I listened to today. Now this next record is one that I'm super proud to have in the collection, man, and I love this record, man. This is probably, I've shown this a couple different times in prog videos, and I tried to leave it out, I did, but it kept beckoning me, and that's Eloy with the album Inside. Another great cover, man. Look at that. Fantastic. There's the back cover. Track list. As you can see, there's only 4 tracks on this, which I'll tell you about in a minute here. But yeah, released in 1973. I think it was a religion. I say that every time. Originally in 1973 on Harvest Records. This is a 1974 reissue on the Janus record label, which I'm pretty happy to have an early press of this, man. But yeah, this is prog, space rock, kraut rock. You've got swirling Hammond organ, shifting bass and guitar and drum commingling to make some killer tracks on this, man. Comparable to like some early Deep Purple, Hawkwind, Pink Floyd's Metal, Echoes era, man. I love that stuff. And definitely, you'll definitely hear some Jethro Tull, like Aqualung era stuff on here too. But they kind of insert it without too much, so it doesn't sound like a rip-off. But you guys are going to get the gatefold. There's the band, man. Look at those cats. Prog Masters, by the way. Jesus. But yeah, man, and so there's 4 tracks. The first side has 1 track. It's 17 minutes long. It is incredible. It's called Land of Nobody. And then you've got 3 tracks on the other side. But yeah, some parts of this vocally maybe kind of remind me of like the neo-prog band Tool. So maybe they were influenced by Eloy. I have no doubts that they were. Now here's another familiar, and man, I dig this record. And this one takes me back to my childhood. This is Emerson, Lake and Palmer with their debut record, self-titled record. Released in 1970 in UK on the actually it was on the Island label in the UK. And then in 1971, released in the U.S. on the Cotillion label. This is an Atlantic Records reissue here. There's the track list there. The reason I say this is like brings back childhood memories for me is because of the song Lucky Man, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But this is a Japanese pressing. See the Japanese track list there. You also have the English track list, and you've got the lyrical content there. There's the Atlantic label. But yeah, man, even on, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it says it was Tokyo, Japan. But yeah, man, Lucky Man. As a kid, I remember hearing that. I love AM Gold music, right? I mean, that's what I grew up on. And I remember hearing Lucky Man, and it's so haunting, and so that synthesizer like in the middle just blows my mind. Blew my mind as a kid. I think it even kind of gave me a little bit of the willies back then, but man, what an incredible song. And this has got some pretty heavy moments. It does have a lot of like really symphonic, bombastic stuff as well. Lots of piano and organ. But man, this is a great album. I will take this over Brain Salad Surgery any day, man. Well, I shouldn't say that. I almost showed Brain Salad Surgery, by the way. This is album number 6 here. This is May Blitz, the 2nd of May. This is their second and final release here. Originally released in 1971 on the Vertigo label. This is an Akarma reissue. 2003. Man, this is in great shape. Found this at a local record store. You're gonna get the full effect on this one too. I love the artwork, man. It's kind of I can't tell if it's like watercolor or what. You got black and white on the front, but then you got color on that. So maybe the groom had a family that was normal, and obviously the bride didn't. Jesus. And here's the gatefold with the group there. Some liner notes. Great stuff, man. This is, they're a British-Canadian trio. It's heavy prog psych, hard rock, space rock, little folk prog in there as well. Some jazzy psych whimsy a little bit in this. Very Hendrix-like vocals on this. The second side opener has this fuzzed out intro called Mad Grim Knits. Jesus Christ. There's also a 70s friggin' drum solo in this, which, gosh, I would rather have had another song, another track instead of a drum solo. And it is what it is. I actually prefer the first album, but this also is very good, and I like it. I'm gonna put this down below because it won't, because of the gatefold, it won't stay. And this next album, maybe one of the earliest prog albums to ever come out, definitely USA-wise, and that's the band Touch. And this has a crazy opener here, To Show You Nothing. A fancy, double door open to show you nothing but liner notes. They could have at least sprung for something cool. There's the band flying naked through the cosmos. Jesus. This was released in 1969 on Coliseum label, which I think is basically an offshoot of the London Records label. But this, like I said, is one of the earliest prog records. One might say that they were the first American prog band, although an argument could be made for like the United States of America, that group, that kind of psych, weird instro band, or even Frank Zappa and the Mothers. So, but yeah, man, this is killer. Led by Don Gallucci, who was the same Don who was in Don and the Good Times, the garage band. But yeah, this is more guitar-oriented prog, although you do have like a lot of piano and keyboards on this. Hendrix and Jagger were among the fan base of this band. In fact, Hendrix even bankrolled some of the studio time for this album. So why weren't they bigger? I mean, they refused to tour the album, probably because they couldn't replicate the sound from the album to a live show, which happened with a lot of bands, like Tomorrow, for instance. But and then they never really formed into a fully baked prog band, like the British guys were doing, like ELP and King Crimson. So yeah, they didn't continue on after that, but. Cool record though, man. Now this one, I had to go through a lot of albums to find this, and I was so happy that I found it, and yeah, I'm gonna show it. And that's Goblin, Roller. Now, y'all might be familiar with Goblin. They did a lot of the Italian horror soundtracks, like the stuff by Dario Argento. And this is one of their only like non-Italian horror soundtrack pieces here. But this is so good. It does have elements, though, of that same type of music. You've got the classic instro prog with suspenseful moments, keyboard and synth driven, even get a little funky at times, man. Great guitar work as well. I'll show you the gatefold, that way you get a, oh wait, we're upside down. See, it's kind of tricky because see, that's what you get, you get a, but yeah, there's the band wearing some crazy clothes, by the way. But yeah, I love this gatefold. Very cool, man, so different. But yeah, man, that's a Goblin with Roller. I'm going to put that one down, too, because it's going to stay closed. Last two here, I'll hurry. I wanted to include this so bad, and did. This is Atomic Rooster, Death Walks Behind You. This is released in 1970 on I think originally it was released... I think that was released on Elektra Records. There was a different cover that had this like naked caveman crawling, which is a far cooler cover than this. But yeah, I love this, man. Released in 1970, hard and heavy prog, maybe even like Proto-Metal. I think any you folks out there into like prog or into psych or into metal would enjoy this Atomic Rooster. There's the band there with a bunch of soldiers behind. Maybe they're enlisting. I don't know. Jesus. But yeah, man. Most of the songs written on here are by John Ducan and Vincent Crane. But those two were like, being the main guys, fought like cats and dogs. But bands like Iron Maiden and Megadeth list this amongst their influences, which I think is really cool. Very guitar-driven, piano and organ, vintage keyboard sound on this. I hear it's a little bit Deep Purple-esque. Every track on this is a fucking gem, man. I'll give you the track list there. I love that record, man. And it's been a while since I pulled it for a listen. So yeah, it was cool to listen to that. Okay, last album, and probably the craziest cover. And that's Fuzzy Duck. God, I love Fuzzy Duck. Look at that cover. That's crazy with the hippie duck there. Released in 1971. I think it was released on Vertigo originally. Oh, no. MAM label. But then this is another Akarma reissue here. Originally only 500 copies pressed. So yeah, rare as hen's teeth. There's the band there. Assortment of pictures there. This is hard-edged prog, organ and guitar dominated. A bit of psych in there as well. Again, similar to like bands like Atomic Rooster, Vanilla Fudge, maybe even like Black Widow. Deep Purple also comes to mind here. But yeah, I think even maybe a little Quartermass, Uriah Heep riffage on here as well. But yeah, lots of the songs didn't go that deep. I mean, they weren't much in the way of lyrical content writing. So there's a lot of extended, instro jams on this, which I dig, man. I have no problem with not having lyrics. I just love the jazz drumming and the kinetic bass. It's killer. Lots of long jams. And the duck even makes an appearance on the last track on the album, No Name Face. Jesus. I'll give a needle drop for this as well. So, yeah, man, that's 10, actually 13, including the honorable mentions. I hope you guys dug this, man. And I apologize, it's long again. God dang it. I don't know how to do a short video. I try, trust me. But anyway, I hope you guys dug it. Stay cool, stay cosmic. We'll catch you next week. I've got a couple ideas floating around the old dome of what we're going to do next week. So, yeah, man, I'm out, man. I'm getting ready to surf my way out. Hang 10, baby, hang 10!